Kia ora from Aotearoa. Poppy here. Time is now, as it always will be. And just had some lovely rain, and I was admiring the lichen on this gorgeous tree. Just like little miniature forests all over it with the water droplets caught in it. Yeah, so I haven't actually made a video for a little bit. I did the podcast where I talked a lot about my MK Ultra experiences as a child in healing, and how love, being absolutely filled with source and the breath of life, is definitely a part of that healing. I've actually had a lot more memories since that time, and I know that survivors are all going through a lot at the moment, and that a lot is coming up to the surface for survivors, and this is very much due to the quickening frequencies that we have. It's like purging things out of the system. There's lightning strikes, there's sun activity, lots more plasma, lots more consciousness energy flooding in, and it can be really tough. So one thing that I've really adapted or adopted recently is something that I'm calling radical self-acceptance. So being a survivor of all of these things, there was stuff that we were programmed to do which was not our will, awful things that we were supposed to believe about ourselves, which are absolutely untrue. And the parts that often were punished or took the hardest hits with torture, with rituals and all that kind of terrible stuff that happens and will not continue to happen for very much longer, thankfully, because of everybody awakening. Those parts went through a heck of a lot of suffering and a lot of shame. There was probably a lot of guilt. There will just be a barrage of emotions that will come with those parts, but they cannot be integrated, or what I've found is that they cannot be integrated until I accept them. I love the little young version of me who went through that and who took that thinking on, who took that fear of being terribly, terribly punished for things like speaking up and talking about these things, and that they even happened, or for remembering all those kinds of things. Yeah, so practicing radical self-acceptance, and it's a new thing to me because my whole life, like, things started very, very young for me. So I haven't known any different. I didn't actually even know what it felt like, what it meant to totally accept myself and accept the parts in me that were convinced that they were evil, that they were criminal, that they were responsible for being raped, that it was all my fault, all of those kinds of things. Yeah, so the encouragement really is really for everyone, I think, is that we just really need a lot of compassion if we're going to heal from the things that can stay stuck in our system. With non-acceptance, it will just make it a heck of a lot worse, a lot harder to deal with, a lot more pain and a lot of suffering. So it's actually just like looking in and as an observer and allowing those parts to come up. Yeah, and it can be very confusing, as I found this week. There was sexual memories and to do with this handler that I have now realised was in my life at different times. But just with raping and things like that, and being hypnotised possibly that even that violent act was pleasurable. And then it's kind of like when these memories come up, they can come up with memories in the body, and so the sexual feeling may be felt. And because I have actually really, as soon as I felt those feelings, I've switched them off, I've turned them down, and I've left them. But this time I actually decided to allow that feeling and to just have total acceptance and to explore and realize that, yeah, that is could definitely be a part of programming, is to make the violent sexual act and, children having orgasms, very young children, this kind of thing. So, yeah, total self-acceptance. It's not easy, and, part of us wants to run, and I realised that I needed to start to look at all my aversions, because I've got lots of aversions, things that I resist or get triggered and turn away from, and within each one of those aversions there's a reason why they became an aversion. And when I can actually face them, then I can get to the bottom of more and integrate more. It's an incredibly big work that we are all doing in healing ourselves, and coming and dropping the programming, creating peace and harmony within our systems, integrating what we can, as we can, when we can. It's great for, well, we will get relief, and it's stopping this kind of thing happening to more children. And as each one of us does this work, we're actually liberating so much for the whole. So I just want to encourage you all, beautiful survivors, just to remember the love that you are, that love is part of, it flows through you like the breath of source. It flows through you as the light of consciousness. It's, and that, yeah, we have every reason to love ourselves and to love like this. And like, I just know that I cannot turn my love back into the outer world until I've really loved myself so much more. So for so much of my life, I was loving outwardly, but it wasn't being returned. And it's not that I ever expected it to be returned, but it got so terribly out of balance that I was just used up and really forced into a situation that I had to be into isolation to get to know myself at a much deeper level, not myself as someone as everybody else received me, but myself for who I am, who I'm getting to know. And it's a big work that we're doing. So heaps of love to you all. Thank you for listening. And may integrity, authenticity, and this incredible love become more and more and more the expression of our being, as we love and accept all the parts that are still needing to come out and come up, and find a new way within our system and a place. I'm giving them new roles, the ones that were very defensive, very triggered, very reactive. They do want to protect, and they are afraid, they have been afraid. So I've needed to give them a lot of reassurance that things aren't going to happen again. I need to give them a lot of reassurance and say, well, you can actually protect my sense of self and help me to stay in this sense of self and the sense of loving myself and building that love, and so that it can also be love that is just service to all as well. So lots of love to you all. Thank you.